Got some bad news for Alec Baldwin. You know, the Rust trial is actually going on right now. I'm surprised I see that there are people who are live streaming it, but I'm surprised there's not more people like watching it. There's not a lot of interest going on. Even this video probably won't do like crazy numbers, but things look bad for Alec Baldwin. Now, for many of you, if you don't remember, Alec Baldwin exited someone from this planet through sloppy hiring practices and employing an armorer that decided to keep live rounds right next to fake rounds, which again, live rounds never should have ever even been anywhere near the set for any reason. But that's what happens when you hire a purple-haired LGBTQ LMNOP activist as your armorer and not an expert. Someone who is the daughter of a famous armorer who got the job through nepotism. That's what happens. Who's responsible for that? Well, Alec Baldwin's responsible for that. There are several updates. Alec Baldwin, Rust trial, jury will hear actor urge wife to visit for a, quote, good time just after he took someone's life. Does that sound like a man feeling any remorse? This guy's a psychopath. Jurors will learn that Alec Baldwin urged his wife and kids to visit him in Santa Fe for a, quote, good time, hours after he accidentally removed Helena Hutchins from the planet and put Joel Souza in the hospital. Baldwin, 66, hadn't yet learned that she didn't survive, but knew that she and Souza had been taken to the hospital when he called his wife from the sheriff's department, saying he's speaking to his wife. He has her on FaceTime so we can actually hear her. We can hear her responses. And then he's speaking to another person, Prosecutor Carrie Morrissey told the judge during a hearing outside the earshot of jurors. And he's explaining that he wants a person to try and convince his wife to still come to New Mexico because they can't get their money back for the plane tickets and they'd like to go ahead and have a good time. I mean, that's not the kind of good time that the headline implies, but this is a guy that literally just put two people, one person was no longer alive, one person was in the hospital, and he's like, yeah, I'm worth $50 million, but like I can't get the money back for those plane tickets, so you should really come. It'll be a good time. Hilaria, or whatever her stupid fake name is, and the kids had previously planned to visit Baldwin one day after the accident. Well, I don't think it was an accident. But anyway, but rather than call off their trip after the event, he still urged them to visit. Morrissey argued that the statement should be allowed after the defense attorney, Alex Spiro, elicited testimony about Baldwin's state of mind from the Santa Fe Sheriff's deputy. Spiro had asked whether Baldwin appeared upset after the accident, which the deputy did confirm. Judge Mary Marlowe Summer ruled prosecutors could introduce his conversations with his wife, which were captured on video hours after the incident as Baldwin sat alone in a police interview room. So he faked it. He faked being upset, right? He faked being upset in front of the police, then turned it off and called his wife and was like, "Hey, I might have just took someone's life and put another person in the hospital, but we're gonna lose $700 on these plane tickets. Like, you guys got to come, right?" Later that evening, Baldwin told Detective Alexandria Hancock, "You live a very, very difficult but ultimately very narrow life." Summer said that statement can also be disclosed to jurors. Oops. On the third day of Baldwin's trial, Judicial District Court kicked off with cross-examination of the state's fourth witness, forensic tech Marissa Popple. During the brutal hours-long questioning by Spiro, Popple admitted she did not conduct an exhaustive search for live ammunition at the warehouse. Oops! For the film's prop supplier after having stated the opposite on direct examination. The defense had argued investigators zeroed in on Baldwin rather than focus on who supplied the live rounds on the set, which still remains a mystery. Spiro showed jurors photos of stacked boxes and tubs in Seth Kennedy's PDQ arm and prop warehouse, where Popple and other officers unsuccessfully searched for live rounds that matched the one that took Hutchins' life. Was it on purpose? You know, there's no evidence to suggest this. But isn't it at least possible that Alec Baldwin, let's just look, I admit, this would be a very, very unlikely scenario. But what if, let's say Alec Baldwin was having an affair with Helena and she was going to go public about it and he figured out a way to make it look like an accident? Isn't that possible? They can't find any other ammo like that ammo. It was just a single round that just happened to be in the weapon. It just so happened to be pointed at Helena, which you're not supposed to do because they use camera angles so that you're never actually pointing, you never down barrel at any actual individual. Isn't it possible? I'm just saying. Alec Baldwin loses bid to exclude potentially damaging calls to his wife and assistant. So after his wife said she didn't want to come down, now he's like, well, I need you by my side. So he called their assistant. See, Alec Baldwin's lawyer grills crime scene tech over search for live ammo. Not good. Now, as of earlier today, Alec Baldwin files motion to dismiss Ruff's case over new evidence as hearing gets underway. Alec Baldwin's attorney filed a motion Friday morning to have his involuntary case dismissed based on what they say is evidence prosecutors withheld from them that may answer the central question. A hearing began Friday morning at 8:45 Mountain Time on that issue. At 10:15, Judge Marlowe dismissed the jury for the weekend. On Thursday, jurors in Santa Fe trial heard about a theory on ammunition and so-called Good Samaritan who came forward to investigators in the last few months purporting to have evidence of that theory from Baldwin's defense attorney, Alex Spiro. The dramatic revelation came on the second day of Baldwin's trial in the death of Rust cinematographer Helena Hutchins and sparked a spirited rebuttal from prosecutor Carrie Morrissey. The latter has long maintained that the armorer, Hannah Gutierrez, was the source of the round. And in a trial that ended in March, she convinced another Santa Fe jury that Gutierrez was guilty. I believe she's been in jail. I think she's been in jail. During Spiro's cross-examination of Santa Fe crime scene technician, the defense attorney said that new ballistics evidence had emerged after Gutierrez's trial ended that investigators had not shared with the Baldwin defense team, nor with the Gutierrez team, that could potentially use on appeal. Spiro said in recent months, an individual had walked into the Santa Fe Sheriff's Department and turned in ammunition that came from the exact same source as the bullet that took Helena Hutchins' life. What? Who is this Good Samaritan? How? What? 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 A Good Samaritan walked into the police department, had the ammo. Who is this Good Samaritan? Why aren't they saying, hey, somebody who worked on the set, somebody who knew, somebody who... It's just not some random, daywalker who had the exact ammo that... What is happening? He told you it had to do with the Rust incident. Is that correct? Spiro asked Popple of the ammunition Teskey brought to the sheriff. She agreed. He told you that he had been duped by Seth Kennedy, didn't he? Morrissey objected before Popple could answer that question. Kenny, the owner of the prop firearm supplier for Rust, had previously denied any wrongdoing of the incident. Spiro asked Popple if investigators had turned in the newly provided ammunition over to the FBI and it had other Rust evidence, and Popple said that they did not. Isn't that the case? That law enforcement likely has matching rounds to the ammunition that cost Miss Hutchins her life. A fair amount of the day spent are we not going to ask where this guy got the ammo? You know what I mean? Are we not gonna... The thorny issue of the source of the ammunition isn't going away anytime soon. The prosecution intends to call both Gutierrez and Kenney as witnesses on Friday morning, which they haven't done. In a hearing held before the Baldwin jury arrives to the courtroom, Gutierrez attorney Jason Bowles will try to make the case to Judge Mary Marlowe Summer that the armorer should not be compelled to testify and potentially incriminate herself because she is in the process of appealing her conviction. Well, that would make sense. Like, I just think that, like, I mean, what is happening here? Has there been any update here? Like, it seems like you would have... Who is this person that walked in? You see, watch, Alec Baldwin rocking and seething, then inexplicably walks out of the courtroom when the prosecutor accused him of lying.
Thing about my business, you're in law enforcement, you're the person who, when they do something wrong, you're the last person they want to see. You live a very, very difficult but ultimately very narrow life.
This is the Baldwin talking down to a police officer.
I believe, hang on, let me finish it a little bit.
This doesn't make Baldwin look very good. He's very mad.
Well, it all goes, I think we've got like three or four pages, so I think it all kind of goes together. Hang on just a second.
He looks pissed.
Okay, so this part, I mean, the part at the bottom of 18, it puts in context the part at the top of 19, and this goes directly to Mr. Baldwin's motivation to lie about pulling the trigger of the gun. I'm 63 years old with 6 kids. I can't rely on luck anymore. This is...
Now, lawyers are saying that he's going to get a plea deal, which is what I would assume would happen. You know, I don't think they're going to push for... I don't think he's going to get jail time. You see, good logic, right? Breaking news. Looks like the Alec Baldwin trial is about to end in a plea deal, likely with 0 jail time. That's probably why they sent the jury home. I'm shocked to tell you figures. As much as I hate the guy, his defense is 100% correct. Alex shouldn't even be allowed to check the weapon because that inserts ambiguity into the situation. The armorer could accuse the actor of changing, you know, the ammo when it was opened outside their presence. Ultimately, I was not, you know, optimistic that he would get jail time. Helena Hutchins certainly deserved it, but it's gonna. I guess we'll have to see what happens later today if we get a plea deal announcement just under the news wire at 4 p.m., which is what I might suspect. That might even happen before you see this video.